I still hear it in my ear. It's weird. Hey everyone, making comics is hard. Getting people to buy your comics is even harder, but we're here to help.
Today, Destiny will choose 3 indie comic campaigns for us to look at and review. But stay with us till the end of the show. We want to see which one we're going to give our money to. Yeah, that just is horrible. We're going to give our money to somebody. See who it is.
There can be only one.
Welcome everyone to the comic book showdown of Ultimate Destiny. My name is Matt Campbell.
Smurf here.
How you doing today, Smurf?
I thought I was doing okay. I really did. I need an adult. I really do. If you're an adult in the market for a new adult to look over and just kind of help, please submit your applications to the link below.
Yay, my buddy Dead Cosmos has finally made it to alive. That's awesome. Welcome. You guys be sure and go check him out on Instagram. He does a stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome artist. John W. Part-Time Comics, welcome. Man, we have got a big show today. Can you believe this? How many entries you think we have this week, Smurf? You haven't got to see, so you don't know the answer this time.
So have we? Well, if we continue on an upward trend, we've got to be in the 20s by now.
Not quite. We still have a lot, but I think. Do you remember what the record was?
Wasn't it like we broke 15 or 16?
Okay, that's what I thought. So if that's true, then we broke the record again.
Nice. See?
Yes.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, me too. Kaz Sloth, welcome. Before we get started, I want to say congratulations to last week's winner, Pendragon, the Legend Foretold. That was a great winner. There it is right there.
Did you like my scrolly kind of mythic art? I didn't know what else
I thought it was chef's kiss. Beautiful job.
I am a writer. I am not an artist. Do not try this at home, kids.
Although every week you take the attempt to draw something, even though I do art, I just write the name down. So
see, and that's what I think the irony of it is. You are the yin, I am the yang, and sometimes I'm the yang and you're the yin. It works out well.
I don't know. Yep. Hey guys, this is our 15th episode, bringing you some of the best indie comics out there. So be sure and hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, hit all the buttons.
Hit share. Give us a like.
Hit share. That's right. Be sure and share this live stream if you're on Facebook, especially to groups, but especially if you hear one of the campaigns that we're about to announce. If you know the people that are part of the campaign, be sure and go tag them. Let them know, hey, you're live on one of these indie shows.
One of the most
there aren't enough indie
shows ever. Premiere shows for indie comics.
John says, very Todd McFarlane scroll.
Okay.
Oh, the drawing that you did.
Yes, it is very Todd Fatherish.
Yes. Right on. So, we have, I didn't tell you the answer, we have 17 entries today.
Nice. All right.
Yes. Constantly growing. The show is picking up momentum. If you don't know, we also have this show on the YouTube channel. You can follow it at Matt Campbell Art. And I'm trying to build that channel up, get people over there. So be sure and check that out if you're not already over there. But also here on Facebook.
And it's on 5280 Geek. It's on my personal page. It's on our podcasting channel, Weekend Geek Update, or 5280 Geek, available on all podcasting platforms.
Yes, we take the audio from the show and put it on the podcast, so we're trying to spread it out there as much as we can. Full spread, baby. Stay with us, Smurf. Stay with us.
All of us need adults today. That's all I'm saying. And of course, let's not forget our super producer who is sitting behind the scenes,
Behind the
running, pushing
scenes.
buttons, and doing well.
And the other person that helps us out tremendously, Emmy Anastasia, who helps collect all of these submissions from all these different places, put them on the Wheel of Destiny, and keep track of all the things going on the Actionland Studios Facebook page.
Much love, Emmy. Couldn't do it without you. Well, we could. We saw how much of a train wreck that was without you. So yeah, we can't let you go. Sorry.
Spread those cheeks, dead. All right. So,
Yes.
let's dive in. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Let me share this Wheel of Destiny, and I'll go down the list of all the different campaigns that we have today. Let's switch over to this one here. There we go. So going down the list,
Yep.
we have Xanthus, the Light of Joy, No Future, #1, Crit, Robo Renaissance, Capable, 1 through 6, Warlion Returns to Battle, This Comic is Asinine 2, Steel Victory, #1, Geek Love, #1, Love Stories about Death. That reminds me of like Love, Death, and Robots. Phenomena, issue 1, LCS, #1 and 2, The Embrace, #2, Storm Chasers, #2, The Sagaverse Chronicles, Volume 1, Beowulf Trade Paperback, Take the House, and Zombie Kid. What a list. Thank you, everybody, for submitting. Your submissions help keep this show going. We got some great names on this list, as Ray said. Welcome, Henri. All right, so let's get to it. The first Wheel of Destiny. Destiny will choose 3 of these names, and then we're going to take a look at them and choose one to back and support this week. So let's jump right into the Wheel of Destiny and see who the first person is. Dun, 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 dun. Looks like Phenomenova. Congratulations, Phenomenova issue 1, Lightning Strikes, a 68-page comic book. All right.
It's very loquacious.
I'm going to write that down just in case
Yeah.
anything goes wrong here.
Trying to do a good job here. Trying to do my job.
All right, going on to the next one. 68 pages is quite a bit. Looks like, did it switch? Warlion Returns to Battle Crisis. That was really close. I thought that was going to be the one right before it.
Yep. You never know when destiny calls.
All right, and that brings us to our last one. Which one will it be? Looks like Storm Chasers, Volume 2. All right, congratulations to all of you who were selected by the Wheel of Destiny. Now, keep in mind that if you didn't get selected on the Wheel of Destiny, if your campaign is still active next Friday when we do the show, then you are welcome to submit again. If you've been on the show, like these 3 that are chosen, then you cannot. We're just going to remove it if you do. Okay. Moving this tab up, we've got Phenomenova ready to go. So I'm going to switch to this tab. And let's dive in. Now, for those of you that are watching that aren't one of these three that were picked, if you are an indie comic creator, the reason that you want to continue to tune in is, one, to see which one we back, but two, we also go through these and pick or talk about what's hooking us, how this campaign is working effectively to get our attention, to make us want to buy it, or how it's not. This is all about reviewing campaigns from the point of view of a consumer. Okay?
Some constructive criticism. We're not here to bag. We're not here to poke fun. We're not here to throw any shade on anyone, because this takes a lot of hard work. Make no doubts about it. This is hard to do, especially when dealing with creatives. You're putting everything into this, so you take it personally. We know. We've been there. We've done this. And Mr. Matt Campbell and I have a very long history in comics, production, and all of this stuff. So all we want to do is help and spread indie comic love, because that's all we're all about, indie comics. And
spread it, baby. Spread it.
Spread the cheeks. That's not, no.
Brian says, sounds cool. Marketing is hard. That's right. I mean, people forget that making a comic is hard enough, but then afterwards, there's a bunch of other things you have to do. You got to market, you got to promote it, you got to pitch it. And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, so I want to help share the things that I've learned with you guys, right?
Yeah. We get it.
Ted Como says our new catchphrase is spread it, baby.
Spread it, baby.
All right, let's dive in. Let's dive into this.
Our theme song. I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know what the chord is gonna be, but I'm gonna make a theme song. I swear to God. Spread it, baby.
Oh man, I shudder to think where this is going. All right, let's dive in. What we've got here. Phenomenova issue number 1, Lightning Strikes, 68-page comic book. So, real quickly, from experience, if any of you guys have thought about making a book this big, that means that you cannot staple bind it, because staple binding ends at about 54 pages. A staple can't close anymore after that. So that means that this book has to go to what we call glue bound or perfect bound, which means it's going to cost a little bit more. Right? Yep. Just so you know.
That's a huge cost. I mean, that's a decision. I mean, that is literally a decision.
It is literally a decision.
A decision.
That's deep.
Good or bad, it is a decision.
All right. It says, the pitch here says 20 years after World War III, the idealistic son of a war hero strikes out to become a superhero inspired by his father's legacy. All right. So that gives us that information about the who, the when, the setting. We know it's after World War III, although when I think of something after World War III, I think of something very desolate, like, Mad Max. Things are pretty destroyed. Yep. So he's striking out to become a superhero. Let's see what the video tells us.
Wow, that's a lot.
When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born. And with them, even greater threats to face. Phenomenova. For you, Dad. for you.
I'm pretty impressed by that video.
Wow, that was gorgeous. I immediately like, oh, we're gonna get Shazam. I like this. This is wild. I mean, all right, all everything. So many boxes were checked on this video. I loved the production value. There were two things that kind of annoyed me that I think I don't know how I would do it differently, but I think it needs a little polishing. Like the opening, I didn't know if we were getting audio or not. So that huge, diatribe of words is like, okay. I mean, even if you switch up narration, you don't have to have the same narrator doing, like the intro or anything else like you did with the rest of the amazing video. But that's a lot to like read through. And then, the testimonials from readers and all of that, that's great. I would almost even cut to something different or a different pitch or person reading that. But it went by very quickly, almost too quickly. If you're going to do testimonials, make them impactful. There's a message there. Let that message speak for itself. But damn, the art was great. Characterization's great. Captain America meets Captain Marvel, and the world is one big toilet bowl. I love it.
Yeah, I'm all on board with everything you just said. Basically, the art was beautiful. The video was exactly what you want out of a video. It hits hard. It had audio narration, so you could listen while you looked. You didn't have to try and read. The only thing I didn't really like was the reading of the text. Both times, beginning and at the end, were too long to read in the time frame that we had given to us. I get it. I mean, Billy Tucci's a pretty big name, so I get why you want to put his name up there. Maybe just, shorten that down to a couple words that he said, and then put Billy Tucci, and then put the big quote down, in the content section. But yeah, this video, I mean, the artwork and the video both look very clean, professional, polished. I'm really, really impressed.
Yeah.
And that, as someone said, that freedom sting is hot. Yeah. Like, I'm going to try and find that here again.
I mean, even like the sound effects, everything that went into that, the audio levels were spot on. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too hard to hear. It really, really blended and worked well. I mean,
yeah. I don't know if he did it himself or if he had somebody do it for him, but this was really well done. Right here.
Yeah.
Bring it on! Yeah, very, very, reminded me very anime, kind of thing. It was great.
Yep.
So yeah, they did a fantastic job with this. I have, no complaints. Now, like I said, the only thing that we've pointed out so far that could be better is the text reading, right? These are both great bits of text, but they are a lot to read. And he did try, or I assume it's a he, I shouldn't, but they did try to, put all this information in there and give us some time, but it needs to be a little bit longer. I would just say, like, on that first quote, where is that first one?
Oh yeah, I don't even read comic or superheroes, and that thing went by quick. I was like, wow.
So right here, you could just put like, take note of Von Coleman's passion and enthusiasm, and then put Billy Tucci.
Yeah.
And then go down to the rest of it. I think that would be a little bit easier. Plus, you still get that legitimacy, and that's the thing. Like, if you've got people that have reviewed your work, whether it's sites, review sites or someone that's well known, and they give a quote, obviously you want to use that. It's going to give legitimacy to your campaign. Now, The other thing that I think would benefit for me, anyways, is what's the conflict? Like, I really fell in love with the presentation of this story, where it was, after World War III, and his father was a superhero, and now he wants to be a superhero, and this is the new generation. All right, but like, what are you fighting? Like, what's stands in your way? Like, what
It's 20
what's the
years.
conflict?
Did they win? Did they
Right?
lose?
Are
What
there
is
some bad guys? Something to let
right?
us know like what this is against. I think that would be something that could take this a step higher, step further as far as engagement. The emotional engagement is there with the I want to be like my dad. This is for you, Dad. That's a really great hook, for especially for us young boys, thinking about our fathers, right? But
Right?
the 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 idea of like, well, what is it that they're facing? What's the challenge? That's what this story ultimately is going to be about, right? So, but they could say that in the content section. So we're going to give a little bit of a glance to what this tells us in the content section and see if it gives us any more information. It says under story. Let me see if I can zoom in on this one a little bit. 1 second. Oops. There we go. There we go. All right. 20 years after World War III, Miles Hanksley, the idealistic son of a war hero, is struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal. Galvanized with electricity powers and lightning speed, a sense of adventure, and the drive to make the world a better place, Miles dons a makeshift superhero costume and the name Galvanite, inspired by his father and the other heroes that came before him. However, he is soon slammed with a harsh reality when his first heroic escapade leads to him charging blindly into a nuclear reactor heist. Nuclear reactor heist. Why would you heist a nuclear reactor? And the crosshairs of a supervillain far out of his league. So we're introduced to his villain in the story.
So
Right.
right out of the gate.
All right. So here on that last sentence, we're told a little bit about the conflict. Right. So there is some information there so that's also good. Right. And it's not too far down. I mean, you're within the first paragraph. So again, doing good to not bury the lead or anything like that. Selling this really well.
Yeah.
So this is a celebration of heroic ideals that the super genre is built upon. Okay. So again, this looks great. I don't know if I have any other things to add on this. Now,
I really don't. I mean, this is a total package. It's got a pretty bow. How much left to we have to see if it funds? I mean, that's literally the only question. I'm like curious how well it's doing.
Yep. Now, I feel like looking at the numbers, they've doubled their goal. Their goal was 500. I have to, say this. This is one of those things with Kickstarter campaigns. You have to decide what your goal is going to be, because on Kickstarter, if you don't hit your goal, you don't get any money. So it's always scary to actually set your goal to what you need, which may be like a few $1,000s,
right?
if you want to print some books.
Which
More, or
it's going to be expensive because there's no staples in this book.
Right. However, like, if you set your goal too low, you have two potential issues. One is that people don't really see it sometimes as legitimate. They're like, if you only need $500, can't you just go ask a family member to borrow some money? Like, why do you need $500? Another one is that once you hit that goal, people don't feel a reason to give you more money. They're like, you've doubled goal already. What do you need more for?
What more do you need? How much
Right.
do you need? Yeah, it's a slippery
Right.
slip.
So the two things that I'm seeing here that could benefit this campaign, besides the video stuff that we already talked about, is number one, this person looks like they have. Remember the campaign like a couple of weeks ago that was just absolutely professional? It was made by an animator.
Yeah.
Looked beautiful, but he didn't have a following, and so he barely had any backers. This one feels like it's suffering from a similar thing, where this person's art, writing, video is all on point. Yet they only have 25 backers for however long this campaign's been running. I don't know how long it's been running, but that seems awfully low, which means that they probably didn't build an audience up all this time, building up to their campaign, and just relied on Kickstarter to bring it all in, right? So I'm sure if several of those people are probably just some family members. So my point is it's super important that you get out there and you engage with the community and you get involved and you start sharing what you're working on, share your story, build up an interest in your product before you launch one of these campaigns. You have to bring your audience to Kickstarter or to whatever campaign you're building so that it'll really take off. The other thing, oh, go ahead.
Is that like, and on top of that, the only thing I can really suggest, given where they're currently at, I wouldn't rule out doing some kind of special Kickstarter event at your local comic shop. You've got Billy Tucci, who's tooting your horn. I mean, I honestly, at this stage, because everything is going well, it's now just word of mouth that you need. I would do some kind of special event, local comic book shop, hand out an ash can or two, do some door prizes, and make like halfway there, or stretch goal announcements or something engaging and something energetic to just push you just that little bit further. That's, as a marketing guy, that is immediately what I would be already considering doing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people overlook the power of doing something in person to promote a campaign. Like if you are doing a show during your campaign, then consider a giveaway that has, barcode or a, QR code on it that you can give to people and say, hey, here's my campaign. Help support it. Printing off some cover samples or things like that to give away. Those are very powerful, and you've got their undivided attention, whereas on the internet, they're all over the place.
Yep.
Now, the other thing that I would add to this that can continue to build momentum is, like I said, with a low goal of only 500, they've already doubled that goal at 1,000. Where do you go from there? One of the things that could also boost this campaign that I'm not seeing on the page anywhere as I scroll through is stretch goals. Hey, if we get to 1,000, everyone gets this. If we get to 1,500, everyone gets this. That kind of stuff keeps a momentum going. And also the people that are already there, they're more likely to go share it because they want to get those stretch goals,
Sure.
So a few little things could really bring this campaign up, but the main thing is keep building your audience. And I feel like this is really high quality stuff. And if this person keeps making stuff, I'm sure that the audience will build itself.
Yep.
So just getting it out there. All right. I'm going to set up for the next one, but if you got anything to add to Storm Chasers, go ahead.
I think it's to Storm Chasers, or do you need Filmanoma Nova?
Sorry. Yeah. Phenomenova. I was looking at the next one.
No, I mean, I think stretch goals are great. I mean, the world is built now on stretch goals. Perfect example, HasLab announced the new Rattler for G.I. Joe figures, and one of the stretch goals is a Baroness in flight gear. So I'm like, God, we got to get that. There's patches, there's all sorts of things. So it works. It keeps people engaged. And now you need to go, back the Rattler from HasLab. So cool looking. Cockpit lights up. It's great.
Michael Auden says, what up, guys? Welcome to the show. All right, next up we have Warlion returns to Battle Crisis. This is another good-looking one right out of the gate.
Yeah.
A brutal martial arts dystopian epic continues with a bloody showdown of cataclysmic proportions, right? So, yes. So this is one of those quotes. I've used this kind of pitch before where you throw out all the big words. Brutal, dystopian, epic, cataclysmic, and just leave it at that. But in the end, you're just like, I have an idea of the genre, but I really don't know what's going on here yet.
Right. I was like world ending. That one's like I always have it in the back pocket just in case. World ending events. Here we go.
Right. Now, this did say it says it's continuing, so maybe that means that there's like more before. They currently have 86 backers with 7 days to go. A little over halfway to go. Their goal is 10 times what the last one was. This is a goal of 5,000, which means that they're trying to raise the money that they need to get the art, to pay for the artists or maybe the writers, the books, everything. And they put that out there, right? So let's see what the video tells us.
Why did I become ruined? Why did I fail? Wars have destroyed my life. We're at war! This time I will not fail. The truth will hurt. Not your soul. It may destroy you. Which is why I must protect you from it.
All right, my man. What did you get from the video for Warline Returns to Battle Crisis?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff. I don't know who I'm rooting for on this, but let me say this. The art is spectacular. Okay. I mean, there's some image quality art happening between those pages, and I appreciate the details for the backgrounds and the setting, and where this happens is just as important as how it happens. So when I see something like this where they take the time to lay it out and put it all together like this, I absolutely applaud the creative team on this. But I don't know who I'm rooting for, and I like the voiceover, but the audio for the music bed is a little bit higher than the voiceover. It should be flipped.
and it's kind of up and down, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand you're trying to build a sense of power and of just kind of crisis, and it's a build up to the crescendo, the payoff at the end where we're all in this, but you need your audio levels to maintain that line and your music bed just to be a little bit lower because it washes out your words. You're using them for a reason. Let them be heard. Drop the music bed probably about 5 decibels, and you be right where you need to on that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who to root for. I don't know what's going on, but damn it.
Yeah, I feel like this is a case of one of those things, and a few people are saying this in the chat that it's got good vibes. Dead Cosmos says it's giving him old Valiant comic vibes. Somebody said that they're not sure what it's about, but it has a good ambiance. And that's all true. It's setting the genre, setting the tone, and they're doing a great job with that.
Yeah.
But we really don't know anything about what's really the premise of this, So what you're missing in that is like you're tickling us with the visuals and the sound. This is the same way that Transformers movies make us want to go watch Transformers movies. They're like, check out this cool stuff and this cool stuff, and you're like, oh wow, and then later on you're like, wait, what is this about? And so I feel like try to keep all that energy, keep all that vibe, but somehow giving a little bit more information about what's at stake, what's the person trying to accomplish.
Well, and I like I want to keep them safe. Okay, safe from what? Who are you keeping safe? Is it your auntie, your family? Is your family dead? I mean, keeping yourself safe. I mean, I'm all about security, but I need just a little foothold of, okay, I'm ready to walk further with you on this, because again, all of the right hooks, all the boxes are checked. I just I just don't I just don't know enough. And I probably, again, first issue off the rack, absolutely. I'd buy it off the rack just to see, because it looks
Right.
good.
It looks beautiful. It looks intriguing. It has those like visual tickling things. And Henri's here with us today, which is great. I always love when we see that.
Great job.
So before I dive in any deeper into some feedback, I want to look at the contents, the story section, and see if it tells us any more. So after watching the video, we come down into the story section, and let me see if I can zoom in just a touch here. There we go. So it says, last year, Warline #1 was unleashed upon the world. This dystopian martial arts epic tells the tale of an old warrior returning from exile with his daughter to settle the score with a vicious tyrant that destroyed their lives and controls their city with an iron fist. And there's the premise. So there's the story right there. We have
Story.
who and what and why, right?
Yep.
And so if we can put some of that and mix some of that in with that exciting video, then I think you've got some gold here.
Actually, with what he's
Go
got,
ahead.
if he just changed phrases of, and I return, and I want to make sure that she has said, I've returned to a broken city, or just to, build on, obviously you have a following if this is the second book. So you're taking for granted that all of them are coming along, but nobody else is jumping in. And you never want to alienate people during these events. So just to give them that little kernel of, I'm coming back. I didn't know that this was a part 2. Now I want to read part 1 to see what the hell happened. So this is perfect, and I think that should have just lightly been, and it just a couple of phrases. You could have kept that entire video, add a couple words, and boom, done. Pen drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely fun and exciting stuff. And like one of the things that, you've heard me say is until we know what a character wants, we don't really know what the story is about. Now we know what he wants. He wants to settle the score with a vicious tyrant. Until we know what's at stake, we don't care. Well, what's at stake? Well, one, he's returning with his daughter, so I imagine keeping her safe is part of what's at stake, right? And so knowing both of those parts is crucial to getting people engaged, because the visuals are what hook us. The visuals and the audio sounds, that's what gets people's attention and go, ooh, that looks fun. The emotional connection is what invests us and says, I got to read this. I want to know what's going on, and I want to read more. So, and I believe that it's all there. It's in the story, but it's not up in the video part. However, to give credit where credit's due, he says this within the first 2 sentences of his campaign. So that's always a good thing too.
Again, he didn't bury the lead, which is one of our pet peeves. Don't bury the lead, and it is right there in the opening paragraph. But you've got to, hopefully, and I'm sure they would, but how many people did you lose at the end of the video and, okay, that's cool, and, didn't bother to scroll down?
Right.
So
yeah, because people they have short attention spans. But I want to scroll down and give you another glimpse at some of these covers. We've got here we got Warlion #1. And I have to assume, I haven't looked at the pledges yet, but I have to assume that some of these pledges come with #1 as well. But he does have a big team, and that's why he has that big goal to reach. And so definitely needs help hitting that goal.
Yep.
Henri says, the trailer was meant to be a teaser for issue 2. There was a lot I didn't include in the video. I definitely won't make that mistake again. I made a ton of mistakes making my videos in the past, and I'll probably continue to make more. So we're just trying to share the lessons I've learned the hard way. And that's all you can do, try again better next time. This is our version of Empire Strikes Back. I like that.
yes,
Then we got Another really cool cover here. It's very action oriented. It's got a kind of a Frazetta vibe with like the big creature and the hero facing off.
I like
Some
the colors.
glimpses.
The colors grab me. See, if I see that on the shelf, I'm picking that up. That's a great choice of palette right there. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. All in those red tones, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I think this comic looks beautiful. It has exciting premise. So just great, some great things all the way around. And again, they've got a big goal to reach, and so something else that I find that I've learned over the years can be helpful. I'm going to take a quick glance at the rewards. One, you always want to make sure to have a digital edition because some people just want to try it out. Generally, on this show, we usually end up supporting digital because we have so many to support. So that's always a good thing. Here you've got digital with number 1. That's awesome. Then we have the physical edition. And then, so here's something that I've learned over the years that I recommend is find that that sweet spot. For me, it's different for every campaign, but for me, it's around like $30, the average that people will spend. And so I'll go to that particular $30 reward, and I make sure to load that one up with things that don't end up actually costing me a lot. So for instance, instead of just getting a book, they might also get the digital edition. They might also get a thank you letter from me personally, or they might get things that don't cost you a lot, like adding them in the thank you section, or whatever. And you really pack this $30 reward because that's the one that you really want to get the majority of your people on, and you give them stuff that doesn't really end up costing you a lot of extra, digital things, stuff like that, so that they feel like they're getting their money's worth, the value out of it. Right.
Yep. I mean, even if it's an autographed, headshot, I do that a lot. Just even if they don't pledge, I'll just sign it and send it out to people.
All right. So, sweet spot reward advice. Yeah, you guys. I mean, I learned that. It took me a couple campaigns to figure that out. But basically, you go through and you look at all your campaigns. You look at your average, are spending, and you can even compare it to some other campaigns that are similar and find that area where, you're getting the most benefit and they're getting the most benefit, So if a book, generally might cost you or charge $10, but on Kickstarter, you usually charge a little bit more because you're trying to raise funds. What can you pile in there that's going to really add more benefit to it? And especially things that don't end up costing you too much more, because it doesn't take a lot to make people feel like they're getting value, right?
No, and I think the average trade paperback these days is what, $20-25, and usually people don't have a problem of dropping $25 for a good story and something that's compelling. So I would use that as a great basis platform to kind of do additional stretches, and Matt's absolutely right. If I'm getting a little extra bang and I'd spend $25 anyway, and over time you get more of that than just a regular $5-10. Like, oh hey, for only an extra $20 I can get all of this. You'll see that it moves rather quickly, rather well.
Yep. All in all, really great job, Michael. Another really impressive campaign. This week might be a little bit hard to make a choice because
that
we've gotten a couple of good ones.
I'm gonna have to flip a coin there in a second because I have no clue.
All right, so we've got one more left before we make our decision of which one we're going to back this week. It's going to be a tough call, I can tell you that right now.
Yep. Storm Chasers. We had Twisters come out. This almost seems like serendipitous, man. This is just like, woo.
Yep.
What do we get?
Yep. All right. So here we are on to the third one, which is Storm Chasers Volume 2. collecting and remastering the superhero action comic book, The Storm Chasers issues 5 through 8. So this sounds like a trade. Collecting 4 issues, which means that there's Storm Chasers Volume 1 out there somewhere as well.
Yep.
But that's impressive. That means they've got 8 issues out of this. So there should be plenty of story. Apparently there's enough story that there's no video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay.
All right.
Well.
All right. So let's see. Let's see what it tells us. We've got Storm Chasers on Sepul Comics. Goal is 1,800. They've got 659 with 23 backers. Now this one does surprise me a little bit in that 8 issues in, they've only got 23 backers. However, they've only got, looks like they just got started because it says there's 29 days to go.
Okay.
So that could mean that they're just getting started and there's still more backers out there. So we'll have to see. But if your comic is gaining momentum, that means people are enjoying your story and they want to come back. If your numbers are dropping, then that means that people are losing interest and you might want to consider why, what's going on. But I don't have a basis for comparison other than the fact that, like I said, it's 8 issues in and they're at 23 backers. So let's go see if the story part tells us anything. This is from JD Rosario. I believe I have seen JD on some of the other indie shows. There's several JDs though, so I'm not exactly sure. In fact, I've been on one show where there was 2 or 3 JDs all in the same show, so not really sure which one this is. But we've got Storm Chasers Volume 2, some nice artwork, collects issues 5 through 8, full color, trading cards. This is all just telling us what we're getting. Here, who are the Storm Chasers? Let's see, I'll zoom in on this just a little bit. Storm Chasers are a team of heroes gathered to operate as a peacekeeping unit with a fictional world of unstoppable comics. Individuals with powers are selected from all over the world, trained to use their abilities for good. They've operated for decades. All right, here we go. The story so far. For a while, the Storm Chasers were not operating as a complete team, and it's beginning to cost them. A mysterious figure has taken advantage of this. I think there's a typo right there. And is freeing villains that have been captured or locked up by Storm Chasers. As a solution, former members of Storm Chasers have been invited back, causing a shakeup with the team investigating who has released those incarcerated by the Storm Chasers, led the team to finding a former member who went missing. That's a mouthful. That's a lot there.
That's a lot. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so that's
okay.
That's really it when it comes to what we're getting. There's a lot of effort being put into the rewards, all this stuff, t-shirts. Look at all these digital catalog covers. Looks like they've had tons of different covers, tons of different books. But right off the bat, this feels like it's marketed to people who already have been following. We don't see any information about like what's really going on in this particular, even in this book, like the 4 through 8, except for this one thing. But this says the story so far.
Right.
So I'm assuming that happened in book 1. I'm not super clear on that. So I feel like the biggest thing here for me is I don't really know what's about. I don't have a reason to be invested. This little bit about them being superheroes to protect, and they weren't working together, and a villain took advantage of that, isn't enough. It doesn't give me what's at stake. Like, is the villain going to, take over the world again? Going back to, is it the end of the world? I don't know. There's really no stakes shown. So there's nothing for me to get emotionally invested in. And that's what's missing. It's really hard to do this with a team book. Oftentimes team books tend to be just about, here's another character design that I made, and here's another character design that I made. And it's just about showing all these cool characters and creating this vast universe instead of giving us something to latch onto emotionally. That's a big thing. But what do you think?
Well, I've seen this story before, and it's usually the go-to for any Avengers story. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, okay, great ideas, but I don't know who you're marketing this to, because if you're trying to bring in new readers, you definitely haven't given them enough to want to get in. They have no idea. And I think if all of these previous campaigns, you have your backers, they've already got all of this material. So I'm confused as to what the objective is. If you're doing a Kickstarter just for the sake of doing a Kickstarter, rethink your plan, because this doesn't achieve anything, because all these people that have backed you prior have all of these issues. Is there something new? Is there an ash can? Is there some kind of sneak peek to what we can expect? Are we getting like a small exclusive, a print that's signed by you guys? I mean, that would be like one of the things. That'd be one of the things that I'd be going after. But as far as a new reader, I don't see a benefit here, because I don't see anything that is grabbing me.
Right. If you guys are hearing a sound, you're not going crazy. There's roof work being done above Smurf. And I can hear the tapping of the hammers above him. So yeah, you're not going crazy.
It's always something with me, man. It's this week. Yeah, the roof gets blown off. Great. Can't you do that later?
Brian Wolf says t-shirts as a reward seem expensive. I offer t-shirts in a way on my campaign. I have print on demand set up, and so in my upcoming campaign, if someone selects that as an add-on, then I'm just going to order it, and they're going to end up being here when I package everything else up. They actually don't weigh a whole lot more. It's just a matter of making sure that you charge enough to cover the cost of getting it printed and shipped. But I could see it, people adding that on if you have the right printer. But
and that's fine. But yeah, because merch like t-shirts, that's an expensive overhead. I mean, unless you're doing the print on demand, or you've got a small, company in Indonesia that can send you the shirts at a relatively inexpensive cost. Usually the production cost is about a wash with what you're charging for.
Yeah, if you're going to print them yourself,
you're
gonna have to print a bunch in order to be affordable. So
that's unnecessary cost. That's unnecessary inventory, because now you're lugging around all these extra t-shirts that didn't sell. And I don't know. I mean, and all the extra covers, they're great. They're cool. But after a while, you just get too many of them. And it just seems like, okay, it's the same issue, but I've got 17 different covers. Narrow that down a little bit. Give me, spread it out a little bit. But it's just, I don't.
Spread it.
Spread it around.
All right, guys. I'm also going to give you a little secret about Kickstarter. This is for Kickstarter specifically. I don't know if this works on the other platforms for crowdfunding, but this is a secret I've learned on Kickstarter. So if any of you guys are creators and you're listening, here it is. I'm going to show this campaign so you can see it, what I'm talking about. All right. We'll go here. Oops, that's not the one I want. Here we go. All right, now, some of you might know that Kickstarter recently set up this story section, or this it's not called story section. It's this jumping to these different parts on the side. But what you may not know is that just like every other platform, Kickstarter has algorithms that will go through and look at the things that are on your page when people do searches. So if they say, I'm looking for superhero comics, and you mention the word superhero in your story, then that's going to be part of what pushes you up on their list, okay? And arranges, the popularity. Now, here's the thing. I see this a lot. Obviously, we want to share imagery and put these images up here. But every single one of these sections in his piece, every single one, even this part right here, is an image, which means that the algorithm cannot read the words. So if you want to get algorithms to be able to see what's going on, you need to put some of the words typed on Kickstarter. And you need to alternate between typing some words and posting some images, typing some words and posting some images, so that it goes back and forth and it has something to read. If you put everything as images, it sees nothing.
Yep.
Right?
Think about your hashtags. This is very similar to that, because now AI has gotten way too smart, and
Right.
it's scanning what you're putting in there to build an algorithm.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you
So
want it or not.
that's a little secret that you could use to your advantage to rank a little bit higher on the Kickstarter search engine when people are looking and searching for books. Okay, so that's the 3 comics that we have for today. Congratulations to all 3 of you for making it to the Wheel of Destiny. But now it's time to decide. Two Gargoyle says you guys really bring some great advice. That makes me happy.
Thank
I
you.
love to hear that. Makes
Yeah.
me feel like I have some value in this world. Most web designers know this, but not laymen. Hey, man, most guys are laymen. Right?
They miss?
All right.
Oh, wait.
So now comes the hard part. We have to decide one of these, and if we don't decide the same one, then we're gonna have to do a Wheel of Destiny spin for just 2 of them. All right. Brian says, I am the layest of the laymen. All right. So, again, to recap, we've got Phenomenova, which was a phenomenal campaign introduction video. We have Warlion Returns to Battle, which is very exciting. And we have Storm Chasers. Which one are we going to back? So, I'm deciding right now. If you guys have a pick, feel free to put your pick in the comment section and participate. I have decided. Ray says he'll be the tiebreaker if we have a tie.
Okay.
I mean, if I guess no, not if we have a tie. It wouldn't be a tiebreaker. It would be if we can't decide. He'll be the third vote. All right, but I am ready. Are you ready? Don't
I'm
shout
ready.
yet. All right, drum roll, please. Oh, and just like that, we do have 2 different ones. Now, I'll tell you why I picked Warlion. Both, I really wanted to pick Phenomenova too. They were both fantastic. I think Phenomenova was a little bit more professionally put together. It was exciting, action-packed. The reason I went with Warlion was that it still had money to raise. It needed more campaign money, and it was definitely worth it. Phenomenova already hit their goal. Remember, I brought this up earlier. They're like, they don't have any stretch goals. They don't have any. They've hit their goals, so I don't know why they would need more money other than to just buy more books or to own the book. And I want the book, to be clear. I think it's awesome. I still might want to go get it. But as far as this show goes, I'm like, this guy is still trying to get his book made, and he needs the money to pay his artists. And so that's why I went with that. Right? But that does mean that we have not come to a decision. We need to decide. So, Ray, go ahead and jump on in here for a second. I'm going to invite you to be on the stream with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, super producer Ray.
Yeah, here at work.
Here at work. All right, Ray, what's
so-
your choice?
Based on the rules of the show and being, they both have really good campaigns that were built well, but I think Phenomenova's video is just a little bit above Warlion's.
I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
I mean, and that's kind of the reason why I went with it. Thank you, Ray. But it's hard. There's too many. I love Warline. Don't get me wrong, but I just had one too many questions at the end of that video, enough that I'm like, okay, I get it. And I know you're working towards your goal. I would keep an eye on it, though. That one I wouldn't abandon. The other one, if I, working on a budget this week, I can do one Kickstarter. Which Kickstarter am I going to back? That would be it. And then maybe next week, hopefully, Warline is still around, and then I can look at that and go, okay, it's still doing well, and it looks like they're going to hit. Then I jump in. But it's that video and everything they did is pretty damn impressive.
I can't argue with that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This week's winner of the Comic Book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny is Phenomenova. So congratulations. If you enjoy our show and you'd like to see more, be sure and check out actionlinestudios.com, or you can support at patreon.com/actionlinestudios and get behind the scenes content, including the decisions I make and how to make Mythica. You can also follow and support Smurf.
You can find us at 5280geek.com. You also can find us on Facebook at 5280geek.com. We have a podcast, Weekend Geek Update, on all of the podcasting platforms, where I ramble on about Lord knows what. And you can also find the audio version of this said broadcast. So give us a like, give us a share. Instagram, we do share our Moment of Geek. Again, 5280geek. So you can have some chuckles, follow us. We'll follow you back. And thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. We do this for you guys and our love for comics.
That's right. Thank you so much, guys. And like Brian, we look forward to seeing you next week. And like I said earlier, if you didn't get onto the Wheel of Destiny to be one of the chosen 3, then you're welcome to jump on and try to support or to throw your campaign into the running again next week. As long as your campaign is live and we haven't already looked at it, then you can submit it. All right.
Roll that dice. You got a show this weekend, don't you? You're going to be busy tomorrow.
I do. I have a small show here in Colorado Springs, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm debuting a new G.I. Joe print. So we're excited about that. And I'm going to have it on my website at actionlinestudios.com, hopefully by the end of today. So you could also pick it up there. But that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much. And with that, Smurf.
On that bombshell, we shall say goodbye. Come join us next week as we spin that wheel. But in the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.